My take on it is you should do it for your local community. That's number one. Like if you're in, New York writing for Greensboro, North Carolina, like it's not going to work because you need the inside or knowledge. You need to live there to really write for it and build a super engaged audience. So write for your local community. But if you don't truly love and enjoy like going out all the time, looking at new restaurants, following the local news, talking to the community, like if you don't love where you live and want to learn more about it and help people learn more about it, you're not going to like a local newsletter. Maybe that's obvious, but I think it's super important is like that's going to be your life and you're going to get into the nuances of politics and restaurants and events in your city every single day. The other thing about it is that they're relatively easy to create the content for, especially if you're focused on events, food. Oftentimes people usually focus on like things to do. Relatively easy to create content for. Also relatively easy to grow because it's very relevant to the people that you want to read it. You can use Facebook ads to get subscribers for less than $1. You can grow on Instagram, on Facebook. People will share the newsletter with their friends. So you can get a lot of subscribers quickly. But monetization is the really hard part. It's the hard part in every business, but especially local, because, just because you have a newsletter with 10,000, 20,000 people that covers things to do in your city. Well, one, what do you sell? If you want to create a product or a service to sell that audience, like what do you actually sell? You can't really charge for things to do in your city. And then two, how do you get advertisers? That's really tough because you have to do a lot of door knocking and like in-person meetings to get local advertisers. And there's probably other local media companies that your ideal advertisers are spending money with. Also, it's really easy to grow a local business with Facebook ads. You can just put a pin down and do geo-targeted ads, and like any landscape company, real estate agent can do that. And so you're really competing with Facebook and Instagram ads and with other local publishers on the advertising side. And then it's just hard to sell your audience something directly. There are ways to overcome that, and people have done 6 figures in profit in like a small cities and 7 figures in larger cities. Axios Local does it. Naptown Scoop does it. 6am City does it successfully. And there's a lot more room for success. You're going to have to spend way more time on monetization and sponsorship sales than you do on the content and the growth. Like you got to start looking at like how do you systematize and outsource the content and growth pretty early so you can hammer down on monetization and actually generate revenue. If not, it's just going to be a hobby forever. And maybe that's okay. If you're just looking for a hobby, that works, but that's what it looks like.